All right, as America marks her 250th birthday, it's a chance to ask, what defines this country? President Trump offered his answer last night during the America 250 celebration at Mount Rushmore.
Americans honor excellence. We admire boldness. We respect ambition. We are a nation of dreamers and believers, warriors and explorers, doers and fighters. In every human endeavor, Americans see an unfinished competition. What is strong can be made stronger. What is fast can be made faster. What is great can be made greater than ever before, and that's what's happening with America. Show us a mountain, and we'll just climb it. Show us an ocean, and we'll just cross it. Americans are strong and always ready to stand firm for a good cause. We treasure justice, fairness, family, honesty, and human dignity.
Warriors and explorers, dreamers and doers. And if you understand what makes America unique, Ronald Reagan said, you have to understand what makes something common. To him, nothing stood in sharper contrast, and nothing is more common as sitting and juxtaposed against American freedom than communism.
Ours was the first revolution in the history of mankind that truly reversed the course of government, and with three little words: we the people. We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go, and by what route, and how fast. And I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts. Nothing is less free than pure communism.
1946, 1986, 2026. Again, we face that debate. Communism against the American character. Pennsylvania Senator Dave McCormick, who served in Iraq during the first Gulf War, joins me now. Senator, thanks for being here.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. What do you think is the answer to that question, Senator? What defines America?
Well, you know, Ronald Reagan, who you just mentioned, in his inaugural address said, we have the right to dream heroic dreams. That's the spirit of America. We have ambition for our country, and it has become the most exceptional country in the world. But we also have a place where each person can realize their dreams. That's the American dream. There's no other country in the world like it. On this 250th birthday, I was here 50 years ago with my dad for the 200th. I was 10 years old. What a country. And as much as America was magical at its 200th birthday, the things that have happened since then, the progress that's been made, it's remarkable.
Tell me about that progress. All of us can scroll through our Instagram reels and we can play into nostalgia and we can see the pictures from 1976. We can see that 200th birthday. Tell me what you see has changed in the past 50 years as we are now on our 250th birthday in America.
Well, what was unique about America, and it always has been, is its commitment to liberty and freedom and opportunity for all. In the last 50 years, we have shown that capitalism has the capacity to bring people out of poverty. We have shown that we have the ability to innovate in ways that make America the most significant technological power in the world. America's an imperfect country on an imperfect journey. That's not to say we don't have problems. What it is to say we're on a constant path of self-improvement. And we see that every day in America, and it's what makes it so special.
As is every human being.
Right.
As is a country. We are all imperfect, but we're all on the path to progress. But what defines us, I believe, is the character, the through line, the backbone underneath that imperfection that keeps us driving forward. But that character today is again being put to the test. We're being called into question who we are as a country and who we are as individuals. And as we have this debate, once again, over communism, it's going to define the next 50 years of American character.
When I was a soldier in the Cold War, I would have never imagined that 50 years later, as the Soviet Union collapsed, that we would be defending or have to defend against the ideas of communism, socialism, anti-Semitism. I thought those ideas were in the dustbin of history. They've had a re-emergence. They have shown to be failed. They are anti-American. We have the Grand Platinum Party, where we have a movement in the Democratic Party that's embracing anti-law enforcement, anti-military, anti-business, anti-Semitism. Those ideas are failed ideas, and they're not right for America.
And in fact, anti-American. Senator, thank you Thank you to the state of Pennsylvania. Thank you to the city of Philadelphia for welcoming this Texas boy into the birthplace of democracy, the birthplace of America. This has been wonderful, even if I have to do it from the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. This has been an incredible
baby. Welcome
from Pennsylvania. Thank you, Senator.
Great to be with you. Thank you. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.